Understanding K-pop as a global media system. When we discuss K-pop's global success, we often frame it as Korean music conquering the world. This framing is fundamentally incorrect. K-pop's success lies precisely in its refusal to be Korean music, in any traditional sense. The architecture of non-locality. K-pop is engineered for global circulation from its inception. Consider the production pipeline. SM Entertainment's founder Lee Soo-man explicitly stated that his vision was creating cultural technology, a systematic approach to producing exportable culture. This is not art emerging organically from local culture. It is industrial design aimed at maximum global penetration. The songwriter economy. Approximately 60 to 70% of major K-pop hits involve Western songwriters. The Swedish pop mafia, producers from Scandinavia, who have dominated global pop since the 1990s, are deeply embedded in K-pop production. This creates a sonic palette that sounds familiar to global audiences, while maintaining enough novelty to be distinctive. But here is the crucial point. This is not cultural appropriation or mere imitation. It is strategic delocalization. By incorporating multiple musical traditions without committing to any single one, K-pop creates what we might call culture-neutral content, music that does not demand cultural literacy to enjoy. Linguistic strategy: sound over meaning. K-pop's language mixing serves a specific function. When Twice sings I Can't Stop Me or when Stray Kids rap God's Menu, these are not meaningful statements to most Korean speakers. They are phonetic textures chosen for their sonic properties. This approach inverts traditional music localization. Western music gets translated when exported. K-pop is born already translated, or rather untranslated, existing in a space where translation becomes irrelevant. A Brazilian fan does not need to know what certain Korean phrases mean because the emotional delivery, melodic contour, and rhythmic drive communicate directly. Research shows that K-pop fans often learn Korean phrases without understanding grammar or context. They are learning K-pop as its own language system, not as a pathway to Korean language proper. Genre is non-commitment. Western pop increasingly specializes. An artist is an R&B singer, a rapper, a rock band. K-pop groups refuse this categorization. A single track like NCT 127 sticker might contain trap beats, flute samples, Latin-influenced percussion, and punk rock guitars, all in 3 minutes. This is not genre confusion. It is genre maximalism. By sampling from multiple traditions, K-pop songs create multiple entry points. A listener who loves EDM can enter through the drop. A hip-hop fan can connect with the rap verse. Someone who likes melodic pop finds the chorus. The song does not ask you to enjoy all of it, just enough of it to keep listening. This strategy mirrors how global streaming algorithms work. Spotify and YouTube do not categorize listeners into single genre boxes. They recognize that modern audiences consume across categories. K-pop's genre fluidity maps perfectly onto algorithm-driven consumption patterns. The performance language. K-pop's most significant innovation might be elevating choreography to equal status with music. Western pop treats performance as enhancement. K-pop treats it as core content. Consider the phenomenon of dance practice videos, raw, unedited footage of choreography. These routinely get millions of views, sometimes matching or exceeding the official music video. Fans are not watching for visual effects or narrative. They are watching pure movement. Why does this work globally? Because choreography is culturally portable, in ways that lyrics and narrative are not. A synchronized formation shift, a wave pattern through a group, or a complex footwork sequence, communicates directly through visual processing, bypassing language and cultural reference. Anthropologically, humans respond to synchronized movement. It triggers mirror neurons and creates feelings of group cohesion. K-pop exploits this biological response systematically. When you watch 17 people move as one unit, you are experiencing something primal that does not require cultural interpretation. The fandom is co-creator. K-pop companies design fandoms, not just music. The system includes structured participation such as fan chants, light stick patterns, and streaming goals. It includes content abundance like behind the scenes footage, variety shows, and V-Lives creating parasocial intimacy. It includes gamification through album photocard, collecting, voting on music shows, and charting competitions. This is not passive consumption. It is active engagement that gives fans ownership. When fans organize streaming parties to chart a song, they are not just supporting, they are participating in the music's success as co-producers of its cultural meaning. Sociologically, this creates what Henry Jenkins calls participatory culture, but weaponized for commercial purposes. Fans feel agency because they genuinely do have impact. This emotional investment transcends cultural boundaries, because it is based on universal human needs: belonging, achievement, identity expression. Why K-pop travels better than Western pop? Western pop assumes cultural context. Taylor Swift's references to American suburban romance, Drake's Toronto-specific narratives, or Adele's British emotional restraint, all carry cultural coding that requires familiarity to fully appreciate. K-pop strips away this context dependence. When BTS sings about butter or dynamite, these are not culturally loaded terms. They are universal signifiers of joy and energy. The music does not ask you to understand Korean dating culture, Seoul geography, or Korean emotional expression norms. Paradoxically, K-pop's artificiality, its constructed industry design nature, makes it more globally accessible than authentic music, rooted in specific cultural experiences. Academic frameworks. From a media studies perspective, K-pop exemplifies what Arjun Appadurai calls mediascapes, transnational flows of images and sounds that create new forms of cultural experience. Unmoored from geographic origin, it is not Korean culture spreading globally. It is a new global culture form that happens to be Korean-produced, through a global studies lens. K-pop represents what Joseph Nye termed soft power, but evolved. It is not South Korea projecting national culture. It is South Korean companies creating culture-neutral products that generate positive associations with their origin country as a side effect. From a sociological angle, K-pop fandoms demonstrate how digital platforms enable new forms of collective identity that transcend traditional boundaries of nation, ethnicity, and language. Fans identify as ARMY or Blink more strongly than many traditional social categories. Conclusion: K-pop works globally because it was never meant to work locally. It is a media system designed for maximum portability, musically, visually, and socially. Its success does not represent Korean culture conquering the world. It represents a new model of cultural production, industrial, systematic, transnational from conception. The lesson is not that other countries should imitate K-pop's sound. It is that they should study K-pop's structure, how to design culture that moves freely across borders by refusing to be anchored to any single place. Key academic connections: media studies, transnational media flows, cultural globalization, digital fandom, global studies, soft power, cultural industries, globalization theory, sociology, collective identity, participatory culture, consumption practices. Subscriptions and likes are a great source of encouragement. Thank you for your support.